Hello everybody and welcome to Robin's TV Extra Time, where we take an in-depth tactical look at Bristol City's results and performances from across the season. Today we've got a fantastic show in store because we're reflecting on the 2-1 win, the impressive 2-1 win at home against Blackburn Rovers. A win that of course keeps City in the hunt for those playoff places. I'm delighted to be joined in the studio here for this one today by Bristol City's under-18s coach Trevor Challis, who is with us of course in here in the warmth of the studio for the match. Look, it wasn't a terribly pretty game in many ways, as we'll see from our clips, but an important 3 points, and that's what matters.
Yeah, it's all that matters. At this stage of the season, the 3 points is imperative. You could play brilliantly and lose, but sometimes you play scrappy and win. And I think there was a little bit of both today. I think it went a little bit scrappy at the start of the second half. Some really good changes. The manager made a couple of really good changes with Naki Wells coming on. Joe Williams as well was a really important change. I thought those two, and Sykes as well, came on at the same time. And sort of changed the whole feeling of the game. Yeah. We sort of grabbed the hold of the game, was able to play into Naki well. Joe Williams slid him down for a lovely goal. So I thought the changes played a big part in the game today.
Yeah, we talked about that, and we will take a look at some of the clips. Before we do, let's dive into perhaps the stats that sort of tell the story of the game today. And a couple really, love to get your thoughts on some of these. When we look at total shots today, Bristol City with 16 efforts on goal to Blackburn Rovers' 10. But you look at the XG, and it's actually Rovers who have just ever so slightly a higher tally.
Yeah, you look at it, Scott Twine's free kick, would have been a very high XG, whatever. Look at Naki Wells, took a deflected shot as well, so high XG. So shots on target, 5 to their 3. I think we tried to set our stall out. So you look at our total shots, 60 to their 10 as well. I think we tried to be positive in the final third, crosses and shots, especially with Naki come on. So I think the manager will be pleasantly pleased with those. Yeah,
absolutely. Yeah. And we might well see it in some of the footage and the highlights that we do have, but the fouls in the game today as well. I mean, Blackburn particularly aggressive, and in the first half, as we saw with a couple of their tackles, there are a couple of bookings for their defenders as well. Very aggressive in the approach, weren't they?
As an away team, you always want to set your stall out. You want to be aggressive, you want to be front-footed, you want to get pressure on the ball. But you're right, I think they got 3 bookings in that first half period, 4 in total out of their 19 fouls. So we were probably a bit more controlled, I thought, in the way we pressed the ball, and we had more pressures than them as well. So again, that'll be a stat I think the manager will be really pleased with today.
Yeah, lots of encouraging signs from all of that. But let's get into it, shall we? And actually look at some of the footage from the game. And we'll start in the first half, as you'd expect. But we talk about starters and finishers. And we're going to highlight Sinclair Armstrong as one of those starters from today. Very effective, very powerful, very direct. And that's what you liked.
Yeah, and it's important when you've got Sinclair Armstrong on the pitch. He plays forwards into his strength. It's a great clip of him pressing there. He's jumped the centre back into the goalkeeper, and that's made the goalkeeper rush his pass. I think it's a really good clip of the importance that he has to the team there in his pressing.
And say he, as a striker, as any striker, he'll be desperate every time he gets on the pitch to get on the score sheet. But these are the things that, as a coach, you're looking to see from your forward, right?
This is a really good clip. So your midfielder gets the ball, full-back. Can you run down the sides? Can you stretch the back line backwards to get space in front? And eventually that's where the free kick comes from.
And you see him popping up in all sorts of positions as well. Is that something that you think, obviously, Liam Manning, the coaches, will be sort of directing him to do, to get involved in the play?
Yeah, I think you want him more in the back line, obviously on the back too. But if he can pop off and receive it and then link and then run in behind again, because that's what his strength is. Yeah. So you've got to play to your strength. So if you're a forward that's quick, can you run in behind? If your forward likes to link the play, come short, link it, but can you also get on beyond as well?
Yeah, absolutely. Well, he certainly gave Blackburn Rovers' back line something to think about today. And we'll take a look actually at the moment really that sort of set the game in motion, and that was through Armstrong winning a free kick.
Yeah, it was. And it's positive play. If you look, we're trying to play forwards. It's a really good pass forwards from Scott Twine. And Danny Batt's scared, they're scared. He's scared of his pace, and he's had to bring him down on the edge of the box. But again, it's all come from playing forwards. So if you look at the 2 phases before, we played it forwards into Twiney. Twiney's then got it out of his feet. He's played forward into Sinclair. and he scared him to death.
Absolutely. And then, this, I mean, this it speaks for itself, but we talked about this at half-time, didn't we? I think every fan will have looked at that and thought this is prime Twine territory, really, when that free kick was called. But just the technique is fantastic.
I think I said to her about a bit, it's like a golfer's technique, how still and steady he is in his body, and he's wheeling around. He knows as soon as it's come off his foot, he's wheeling away that he knows it's gone in. But his consistency of hitting the target is fantastic.
Yeah, and you must think that would give opposition something to think about when they're going to be giving away fouls on and around the edge of the box. I just think, you look at this, 6 goals this season for Scott Twine across the league and the cup, 3 of which have come from direct free kicks. I mean, that's quite an incredible return, isn't it?
50% ratio is fantastic. Yeah. And as I said, it's a little bit like a penalty now on the edge of the box for the team. It is. And you're right, a manager will be saying you can't give away free kicks in the edge of the box anymore. Stand up, defend properly. And if you do give a foul away, you've got Scott Twine on the pitch there who can put quality into the box like that. Yeah,
absolutely. Well, from attack to defence, let's take a look at what City were doing well when it came to just nullifying Blackburn's threat, which tend to come down in the wide areas and from the wings.
Yeah, I said before the game, they're a team that likes to work the ball wide. You get full-back overloads. They like to cross in the box. It's important that we switched on in the box now. We got our body shapes right. Oh, well, look at that for calm defending from Rob Dickie. His body shape isn't quite right, but he's managed to get a great connection to the ball. Have a look at Rob again. He's looking, and Zach, they're getting central into the box. And again, they're in the right places. That doesn't happen by accident. No. They've really worked hard in their positions to get central and work and stop Blackburn scoring.
Absolutely. So that's that sort of reading of the game, which he's so composed, so calm, isn't he? But you say it's not a mistake, it's not chance. He knows what he's doing in that sort of situation. He's reading it, and he's
you're retreating into the middle of the box. You know the ball's going to come in there, and you need to get good connection and clear the ball.
Yeah. Absolutely. Well, it was one time perhaps that from the first half at least that we didn't manage to do that. And I guess like all teams of any sort of quality, they make it pay, they make you count. And it was who else? Andy Weimann on the score sheet.
He's active in the box, isn't it? It's the best word you can use for him. So Dolan gets on the outside, he puts a really good ball into the box. He's active is the word I'll use, and we're a little bit static, and it's a little bit gutting really, because you felt at that part in the game it was only going to really be a mistake that was going to cost us, and it's actually a really good cross by Dolan, the header, and he's active in the box. Andy Weimann is.
And you can almost sense, City would have felt somewhat unfortunate to be level at half-time, because the quality of play from them, apart from this one opportunity, they pretty much contained it.
You're right, it was that one opportunity. And I felt just watching the game, it was only going to be a lapse of concentration, it was going to be a mistake or a little bit of quality, and Dolan provided that little bit of quality out wide.
Yes. And going and to revisit that sort of starters-finishers theme, we can take a look now at some clips from the second half. City emerged, and you said there's plenty of positives from the first 45 minutes. But Liam Manning, looked to make a couple of tweaks with a few of the players, and it really did have a big impact on this second half, didn't it?
It did, and the finishers is a great phrase. And the players that came on, the game was going a little bit scrappy at around about 58, 60 minutes, and I think he made the changes, the manager did. And he just provided that little spark. It got the fans going a little bit. It got us playing a little bit quicker. We were able to play into Naki. We were able to put it down the sides of Naki. And that's where the goal eventually came from.
It did, right on cue, in fact. Because let's take a look, because it really was, a second half to remember for Naki Wells. Here he is coming on. And it didn't take him long, did it, to get involved in these sort of phases of play?
I just love the pass by Bert. I'm just marvelling the pass again. As I said earlier in the commentary, it's like a quarterback. It's fantastic ability to get your head up and drop it in with great weight. It's a fantastic run by Naki as well. Really good recovering work by the defender, because as I said, Naki couldn't quite get it flat enough for it to go in. Has to lift it to get it over the goalkeeper. And the defender's done really well to retreat on the run.
I mean, he's done everything right, isn't he? If you're coaching that, with your youngsters in the under-18s, his movement, his touch, even the finish, like you say, it's a difficult one for him to have got that any better. But is there anything you feel, if you're coaching that is pretty much textbook?
Textbook. It's what we'd want our centre forwards to do, is to run flat and in behind. The pass is fantastic. There's not much more he can do. As I said, it's just the retreating work from the goalkeeper, from the fullback. The goalkeeper's made himself nicer because he's got to go over, and the defender's done great getting back on the line.
Absolutely. Well, if that was going to deter Naki, well, it wasn't by the looks of it, because only a few minutes later he gets himself on the score sheet with what turned out to be the match-winning goal to get us back in front. Let's take a look at it, and it's an assist from another one of our finishers in Joe Williams.
as I said, everyone speaks about Joe Williams, what he does. He gets up to the ball well, he presses the ball, he tackles. But here you've seen another side to his game. It's a fantastic weighted pass. I think the run from Naki's great.
Yeah.
It's flat, it's across the defender's eye line. The defender can't read it, he can't see it early enough, and he gets himself a chance to shoot. It's great experience. So Naki's got a load of experience and he's used it there. Fantastic run. A little bit of luck with a deflection, yeah. But you make your own luck. Make your own luck at times, and he's definitely made his luck there.
Yeah, and again, it's a different type of goal to, or would have been potentially, the lob, but it's the same sort of textbook. The movement from Naki, the way that he receives the ball, the pass, the one touch, and the finish. It's the package, isn't it?
I think the players on the pitch know he's making that run. So Max Bird, he knows he's making that run. Joe Williams knows that Naki's able to make that run. Experience. And I thought he had a really good half. He had a really good impact in the second half.
He did. He was one of those standout performers, and you could see, what it meant to him, but also, as we mentioned, Joe and other players. In fact, we can just take a look again at this goal and the reaction. And I think, if you just watch Joe's reaction as this goes in here, and he just, there he is.
It's
you can
fabulous.
see. And the emotion, of course, as Hayden celebrates. But that's how much it means to the players, And I said it wasn't overly pretty at times today.
No.
But those 3 points, they'll have known coming into this one the significance of a win today, and they did it.
We'd have played a lot better that and lost games, especially in the early part of the season, I imagine. So to play, not probably at 100%, probably at 90%, and know there's more to come, I think is really, really promising and really, really good for everybody out there.
Yeah, absolutely, and keeps us, of course, in contention with those playoff places, which every fan would love to see us in and amongst, wouldn't they, in the sort of final throes of the season. Well, we'll look forward to next Saturday. Just a comment on that, really. It's Oxford United, a trip to the Kassam, and of course the added element, as we mentioned post-match, this being Liam Manning's former team. Does that add a degree of spice?
I think it does, I think Bristol City fans will travel well. I think they'll pack the place out. It'll be a cracking atmosphere, a little bit of spice, as you said, being the manager's old team. Our last away performance, we got ourselves a point, could have nicked it, could have got all 3 in the end. I think that we'll go there full of confidence with the belief that we can go and get 3 points.
Yeah, absolutely. And of course, knowing Liam and the players, they'll probably already be thinking about that next game, won't they? As they're coming thick and fast, as they will do now for the course of the season. Well, look, Trevor, it's been a pleasure to have you in for Robins TV Extra Time, as it was on the game, of course. First one for you this year. You're a busy man, but we'd love to see you back in here, if possible, if timings allow. And of course, best of luck for you and the under-18s for the remainder of the season.
Appreciate it. Thank you.
Lovely stuff. Trevor, thank you very much indeed. That is it for us here on Robins TV Extra Time. A fantastic day out for all of those here at Ashton Gate as Bristol City ran out 2-1 winners against what can only be described as playoff rivals Blackburn Rovers. But a big win, a big 3 points. There'll be more reaction to this on the Bristol City website and official social media channels. City next back in action next Saturday. It's an early kick-off, 12:30, which means we'll be live here on Robins TV with your coverage from midday. We'll see you then. Bye-bye.